Hi, I just wanted to do a video real quick of some things that I was thinking about. Um, I had heard some really sad news, and I was thinking about sometimes in life. Basically, it brought me to this point that sometimes in life that when we say certain things to other people in a judgmental way, we ourselves will probably experience the same thing. I was thinking how we are all connected and how I feel like in this realm, He doesn't want us to be, thinking about people in a negative way or, treating them like they should have known better, like we're better than them and we will never do those type of things. But once we start doing that, then we ourselves will eventually experience those same things. Like for instance, when I was in the military and I was in boot camp, and towards the end of that training, there's a time where everybody, when I was in anyway, have to like basically do all this stuff that we learned, running all night, diving into a pool of 12 feet, all this training. And so it was this girl that she could not do it. And I said to her, that's why you're not going to be able to run with us tonight. Basically, that's why you're not going to be able to graduate with us. And don't you know, when I was doing my run, doing that last bit of training, I ended up not passing, and I had to come all the way back to the barracks. And I was thinking about what I said to that girl, and I was embarrassed. I did get to run again, but it helped me, and it was one of the lessons that helped me to learn that, be mindful what I say to people, and don't be like that to people. You don't. That basically what I said. When I think back on it, it was very mean and it wasn't right. And I know we should judge righteously, but I think there is a line that we tend to cross when we're basically, saying things about people. And like for another instance, it was this person, and this person had fell into some sin. They was fornicating, and when another person told me about it, I said, well, they should have known better than that. And guess what? I fell into that same sin. Not only did I fall into that same sin, but I fell into that same sin with the person who had did that. And just saying that, I put myself out there. It's kind of feeling like very uncomfortable, but I want to share that because I just want to remind us that we're all connected and we all have the potential of experiencing that low outcome that the other person is experiencing. Sometimes we forget that all of us can be put into those various same situations. All of us can be vulnerable. All of us can think that we're going to be able to stand strong when we face with the same thing, but you really don't know what you're going to do once you're put in that predicament. So I just wanted to share that, and then also I was thinking how we can, I was thinking about generational curses, and I was thinking about how we can be saying stuff about those who the Lord used to help us get into this world, our parents. And we could think low of them. We can start being disrespectful to them, but we don't even notice that we're living the same life that we deemed as, bad. We can't be living the same life as our parents lived and putting our own children in the same predicament that our parents had put us in. And I'm not saying my parents put me into all of that. I'm just saying that for an example because I had noticed certain things. And I just feel like instead of holding anger in your heart, holding a grudge in your heart or whatever like that, towards your family or towards your parents, you need to just pray for them and forgive them and let it go. Try your best to let it go. We all have been through things, and if you're a parent, you know that being a parent is not easy. You know that there is things that, there are so many mistakes that we make. So, your parents are human beings like you, and they fall short every day like we fall short every day. And we don't do the right thing all the time. We have emotions, we have feelings, and everything. And if when we're pushed to a certain place, that we haven't been able to overcome, or mature, be more mature in that area, we'll end up doing the same thing that we deemed our parents was so horrible. We'll be doing the same thing that they did. So anyway, I just wanted to share that I just wanted to say that it's important to forgive, and it's important to be careful what we say. There's a scripture, I can't remember it verbatim, but I know it says that your words, if you say certain words, you will eat them. You will eat the fruit of your words. So basically, the fruit is basically the outcome. You will experience that outcome because your words. So what I want you to take away from this is that we're all connected, and I feel like when we put things out there, when we say things against people, we're saying it to ourselves too. And when we hold people to, when we're trying to put people on some type of, saying that you need to be better than this, and not saying that we don't want people to be better than the low place that they're at now. But when we say those things, and I'm just going to say, if it's unnecessary and you're still saying them, I feel like you're just setting yourself up to be put into that same situation. Life, can show you that it'll come right back to you, your own words, and you'll be eating that same plate that you serve somebody else. So I just wanted to share that, and just, say that we should just make sure we do our best to be mindful what we say. And remember, if you don't have nothing to say, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to fill in a space. You don't have to fill in this quietness. I know people who like to say things and want to carry on the conversation. There's times I don't have nothing to say. And I think that for my own self is I don't want to keep talking, because I know that I can get into places of saying things unnecessary. I don't want to just talk to be talking, because after a while we'll be start talking about somebody, and the conversation has went away a certain way that you'll be like regretting later on. And I think that's a very wise thing anyway. So I just wanted to share that. Just make sure you love people, and give them grace, and remember that we are all going through things. We don't know where we're at in our walk sometimes. We may be thinking that we're all the way up here, but we're probably right here. And we be thinking that other person is nothing wonderful they're never gonna change. And then next thing you know, just like they change, and they're even a better place than where you're at. So I just wanted to share that. And also I just want to share that I'm doing my crocheting, and I'm making a blanket. And I also have all these, I'm trying to make, it's a lot of them. I think I need like over 70 of these granny squares. I got like I got a whole bunch so far, but I still got a long ways to go. But anyway, so I'm making these, and I'm very happy with my granny squares. And so anyways, just have a wonderful day. God bless everybody. And remember that everybody, no one wants to be told that it should be, you should know better than that. They probably already know that anyway. Okay? So just love people. And if you don't have nothing nice to say, most of the time, just keep it to yourself. I know there's a time and place, but we need to really confront people about that behavior. But just be mindful of where it's coming from. Okay? All right. Bye, and have a beautiful, blessed day.